This is One Piece chapter 1092 review and reaction, like, I guess. Akainu finally got off his ass and did stuff. I know like pretty much anytime we see him, he's either pissed off because he can't go, pissed off because Luffy's doing something, or he's just pissed off at his cigarette because he's always crushing it. Well, this time he's just pissed in general because Kuma has been causing a big ass ruckus and destroying the Holy Land Marine Wall, maybe by doing a bunch of Ursus shock, because we see the Holy Knights that are supposed to protect the Tenryubito pretty much have him with chains and like spears up against his throat, and they mention that he's trying to get somewhere. We don't know where he's going, which is kind of weird if you think about it, because if he was trying to get somewhere and destroy the place, couldn't he have done it when he became a slave? And then like he would have recognized, this is Marijwa, time to destroy, you know, or maybe like he's trying to kill Im. I don't know. So we see the Holy Knights and trying to get him. He basically says Ursus is shocked. And just as that happens, Akainu shows up and he's like, what the hell are you doing, Kuma? So you're picking up where the Revolutionary Army left off, huh? You know, mentioning what Sabo and the Revolutionary Army did when they went to go rescue him. And then we see him. We see Akainu in all his glory with this big ass cigar that he's always breaking. And then, this is hilarious. So then we see one of the Tenryubito. And he basically tells one of the holy knights, one of the guards, whatever they are. I keep saying holy knights, but like, they look like knights, you know? So I'm just gonna keep calling them knights, the holy knights, whatever. The guards that look like knights, basically, they're the ones, you know, like I said, they're trying to restrain Kuma, which it failed. So we see one of the Tenryubito, and we get one of his reactions to what's currently happening to their house, to where they live, you know, their palace. And it's stupid. Just what you'd expect from these dumbasses. We see 4 Tenryubito there. We don't know what family they're from. I can't really tell. They just have that stupid ass haircut. And he basically yells at one of the guards and he's like, you inexcusable piece of shit! You call yourself a guard? You know, and he's basically yelling at him. And at the same time, remember, Kuma's destroying their shit. They're destroying where they live. And the first thing he says to Akainu is, Akainu! I wanted lobster last night, and they told me that they didn't have any. How dare you? How careless can... Oh. You have a previous warlord destroying your shit, and all you can think of is the dinner that you had for last night. This just proves how... Oh my god, these guys, man. These Tenryubito, holy shit. Tenryubito are trash. The way they act shouldn't surprise me, and it shouldn't surprise you, but it's just so shocking to see how scummy these people are. But anyway, we cut back to Akainu, and he basically says, you know, we can't control you anymore. We're just gonna have to kill you. So then he mentions this again. Where in the world could a walking corpse like you, no will, no mind, like where could he possibly be going? And they keep mentioning this, so Oda wants us to think about this. Is this Kuma himself? Maybe not, you know, his own consciousness, but something reminiscent, you know, something that was left behind. Or something like a command, like he told, I don't know, maybe Vegapunk, like, hey, if I become a slave and then the Revolutionary Army come and rescue me, put in this command for me to go back and etc, etc. Do you guys know of anything that could possibly happen? Because I really don't know. I'm stumped on this one. What could he be doing there? Akainu, being Akainu, doesn't waste any time. Says a few words and that's it, and then just Hellhound at Kuma's face, and you see half of his face just boom, get obliterated. And he bleeds. And Akainu's like, oh, so you still have blood pumping through your veins. And as he does that, Kuma just basically says, fuck this. And he just books it. He just starts running. And then we hear the Tenryubito again. They're like, Akainu! Where's Kuma? Did you just let him go? And then he says, remember how the first guy was like, you call yourself a fucking guard, you piece of shit? Well, they basically are like, you call yourself a fleet admiral? Sengoku wouldn't have let this happen, you piece of crap. And they're just going, they're just not taking it. And Akainu doesn't even care. He's just completely ignoring him, which is hilarious. And he's still wondering. He mentions it for a third time. A third time. He says, where could he be going? It's like Oda wants us to think about this, but I just can't. I'll have to watch like other people's videos and see what they say, because this is really intriguing that they keep mentioning this. Where is Kuma going? And this is so ironic. This is so ironic for him to say. And I quote, he says, "You've lost your will, your mind, everything. You're just a damn puppet now." That's kind of what he is. He's kind of a puppet now, because he has to follow everything the Tenryubito tell him. We cut back to Egghead, and we see the weaponized sea beasts getting destroyed one by one by the pacifistas. And ladies and gentlemen, we finally got to the point that we've been waiting for. Luffy versus an admiral. He's in his Snake Man form. And this actually makes sense, because Kizaru's fast. So this makes sense that he would go into Snake Man. But, you know, Kizaru's made of light, so that doesn't really matter. So we get dialogue, and Kizaru's basically like, "Hey, why do you want to protect Vegapunk?" And Luffy's like, "Right back at you. Why do you want to kill Apple Gramps?" And then, he just beams out. He's like, "It's not like I want to kill him. It's just my mission, dude. I've known Vegapunk for a very long time, so don't get in my way." And then he beams back. And as he's beaming back, he says, "After all, speed is power." And he just shows up and boom! Kicks Luffy. Luffy goes flying. He sends Luffy flying through Vega Force 1, destroying Vega Force 1. You remember the one that was carrying the Sunny like this, which is adorable? And he recalls, this is important, he recalls Vegapunk saying, "The giant robot mankind has always dreamed of." Frankie immediately says, "Luffy!" Like, oh shit. And the Sunny just falls. Boom. It just falls. But thankfully, remember, they were like on these clouds, kind of like Sky Island. So it didn't damage the boat that much, which is, whoo, that's a good one. Even though Frankie could probably fix anything in like 2 seconds, so it doesn't really matter. And then Lilith screams out, "Frankie, Bonnie, run! This shit's about to..." And it just blows up. And the balls on this guy, the metal balls on this guy, Frankie, he's like, "You scumbag! How dare you do that to my Sunny?" He completely ignores him. He's like, "Kizaru, you bastard!" And this is... Okay, Frankie, I get it, you know? You want to defend Bonnie and what happened to Vega Force 1. And your captain got flung across the map. But don't use Radical Beam. This is a laser. And you're using it on a dude that's made of light. I get it. It's like in the heat of the moment and he's just like, Radical Beam. But like, come on, Frankie. And as he's charging it, he just disappeared and he's like, "What the? Where'd he go?" And he says, "Oh, shit. The Stella's in danger." And he immediately gets his Den mission and says, "Usopp, Usopp, Usopp, pick up." We cut away and he's finally cracked the code and he's like, "Eureka! We did it!" And Atlas is so cute. She's just like, "Take that, you stupid traitor." And York says, "Damn it, you stupid geniuses." Vegapunk is like, "Frankie-kun, we can disable it." And Frank is like, "No, don't." And Kizaru shows up right in the middle of them and says, "Your plan failed, Vegapunk. What are you going to do now?" Double page spread. Awesome double page spread. And Kizaru says, "Please understand, this is not an easy mission for me. And I don't want to drag this out more than I have to." And then you hear, boom. God, that hurt. And then we see giant Luffy, all bruised and battered, in his giant Gear 5th form. He just grabs Kizaru. Kind of like, remember when he grabbed Kaido? When he got his hand and inflated it to like a massive size and just went down through the roof of Onigashima and just grabbed, you know, Kaido in his dragon form and just pulled him up? That's kind of what he's doing here. He goes through the roof and grabs Kizaru, an admiral. And as he grabs him, Usopp and Nami's eyes pop out of their head. And so does Vegapunk, and they're like, "Ah!" And Kizaru turns around and he goes, "Oh, there you are. This is..." And then we start hearing the drums of liberation, his heartbeat. The funny heartbeat, the doom, 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 doom. And he says, "You have some nerve knocking me all the way down there. I had to cross that barrier twice. That's important. That is really important." He says, "I thought it was going to kill me. But..." Think about it. Remember, the whole thing they've been talking about this whole arc is, we can't get through the barrier is unreachable. It's like the most incredible defense system ever. The only people that can cross through it is like a Logia that is made of light, which is Kizaru. And he passed through it like nothing, right? Luffy just mentioned he passed through it twice. One as he's falling, When is he going up? That is insane. I saw a comment in the comment section that said, what if Oda had to nerf Luffy a little bit by damaging him by going through the barrier once and then twice? So that weakened him a little bit. And it's like, huh, that's interesting. That is really interesting to think about. Is Luffy that strong that Oda had to nerf him? Anyways, last panel of the page. We see the ancient Void Century robot. The one that we saw at the beginning of Egghead, where they met Vegapunk. It's relevant again. And it's relevant because of what Vegapunk said earlier. From when Kizaru remembered him saying, this giant robot is mankind's dream. Well, when Luffy went Gear 5th, this robot started gleaming his eyes. He started waking up. Their first option by using Vega Force 1 didn't work because it's destroyed. But now, maybe because this awakened to Joy Boy, to Nika, maybe it's powered by the Devil Fruit user. And remember, Vegapunk said he didn't know how to work it, that this is like crazy advanced technology. And it seems to be that, kind of like with Zunisha. Remember when he's like, whoa, I haven't heard these drums of liberation in a long time. What if this robot was just slumbering? You know, what if it like just woke up now and said, whoa, I haven't heard that in a long time. Obviously, I don't think this thing is like a person or anything. It might be, I don't know. It might be just like armor. It might not even be a robot. But knowing Vegapunk, I'm pretty sure he would have known if it was a living creature. But the fact that the robot awakened to Luffy is incredible. Anyways, end the chapter. No break next week. Holy crap, Oda. Holy freaking crap, Oda. Wano was amazing, but holy crap is Egghead just as good. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my second review. Maybe it's better than the last one. I don't know. Maybe the energy's better. Thankfully, we have a chapter next week. Anyways, look forward to more. Thanks for watching. Peace out.